Federal Bank numbers were good, and the real cherry on the top today I think is HDFC Bank, which has come out with another blowout set of numbers. So the first rates will start kicking in any second right now, and the first rates would be a combination of Reliance, HDFC Bank. I would go back, this is HDFC Limited, let's go to HDFC Bank. D-mart, numbers are not all that great, but generally markets are saying look at FY22, not FY21. HDFC Bank and massive outperformer, HDFC Limited a massive outperformer. I want to look at Federal Bank and Oberoi Realty, where numbers have been strong. And later this week we'll hear from Bajaj, Twins, we'll hear from HUL, we'll hear from Britannia. Those are important set of numbers. Tata Steel was like a big mover on late last week, and is the good work in Tata Steel continues? Well, for the moment you could say that the good work in Tata Steel continues. Let's look at Tata Com. Year on year numbers have been very strong. Quarter on quarter their margins have expanded, so market should get happy with those numbers given that the enterprise business of Tata Communication is back on track. And I want to revisit once again what is going on with UPL after Friday's crash landing. Has the stock managed to find its feet? Let's go back to Tata Com and see if the stock can really stabilize, and if UPL has not stabilized at all. It has plunged further and is now almost in the dust, so to speak, at 453.
Okay, those are some individual movers. Just going to revisit some of those names. You've got the index quoting at about 11,800. HDFC Bank and firm fettle on the back of those strong updates coming in the second quarter. You've also got an Avenue Supermart. It has been a bit mixed, if you will, when it comes to the quarterly numbers. Something like Shoppers Stop is well in focus. Their losses have mounted to about 98 crore rupees for the quarter gone by versus a loss of about 8 crores, so clearly suffering. Oberoi Realty is another one. While margins have managed to expand, their PAT has been absolutely flat at 138 crore rupees. Something like Bajaj Consumer as well, that continues to remain in focus. Prestige Estates, we spoke of that term sheet with Blackstone. They're looking to divest stake in their office as well as their retail assets. That continues to remain in focus. Pull up a Dr. Reddy's as well. The company as well as the RDIF have got some approvals for a clinical trial for the Sputnik vaccine. And Jet Airways, of course, is going to be in focus on the back of that approval coming in. The stock at about 42. Remember, the resolution plan has been duly submitted by the company of creditors by Murari Jalan as well as Florin. Aurobindo Pharma, they're going to acquire about 100% stake in M-Vines, and that stock continues to remain in focus. So Nikunj, all in all, we've gotten off to a fairly healthy start for the markets. That breadth too is in favor of the gaining side. And interestingly, barring IT, you've got support coming in from all quarters with leadership, particularly from the banks as well as real estate and energy.
It's a good start. Remember, the market breadth has not been the high point for us in last couple of weeks. September we saw a big uptick in market breadth, but October has been a downer for the broader market per se. The start today is Tata Communication, but what has really gone through the floor, I think, is UPL, which is now at 453. So an underperforming stock has slipped further, and the other one is Bharti, which in a sense has been more like a trade where everyone had a view, or stock where everyone had a view. Those who missed on Reliance, they bought Bharti because they wanted their investments and the returns to catch up. Well, guess what? Reliance has not corrected and Bharti has crashed. So if you bought into Bharti thinking that it's a proxy to Reliance, and if Reliance is getting re-rated because of the Jio business, Bharti will catch up soon, well, that assumption has fallen flat. The promoters sold their stake. QIP happened at higher levels, and ever since that fundraising has happened and promoter dilution has happened, the stock's been in a downward spiral. Ajay Srivastava joined us now. Ajay, good morning. Thank you for joining us. So Ajay, how's it looking? Are we in for choppy, nervous days ahead of US presidential elections?